At this time, I would ask all members of the audience to please stand and face the flag as the Boardman Chorale leads us in the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Boardman Chorale. Audience, you may be seated. Seniors, you may be seated. I would like to introduce our first speaker, our superintendent, Mr. Timothy L. Saxton. I am honored to welcome Mr. Timothy L. Saxton, superintendent of Boardman Local Schools, to the lectern, who will be our commencement speaker this afternoon. Mr. Saxton is a proud 1984 graduate of Boardman High School and is completing his 6th year as superintendent of the Boardman Local Schools. Prior to his appointment as superintendent, Mr. Saxton served as our director of operations for 3 years and Boardman High School principal for 11 years. Mr. Saxton lives by the following principles in this order: faith, family, and Boardman. He and his wife Gina are proud Boardman residents and the parents of 3 Boardman High School alumni. His oldest daughter, Anna, just completed her 2nd year of teaching mathematics at Keystone High School in LaGrange, Ohio. His daughter, Alicia, will be a senior at Baldwin-Wallace, and her twin sister, Ashley, will be a senior at Youngstown State University. Both twins are following in sister Anna and dad's footsteps, preparing to be mathematics teachers and coaches. Beyond his faith and his family, his passion runs deep for the Boardman community and the Boardman Local Schools. I first met Mr. Saxton in 2010 when he hired me to be a teacher at Boardman High School. In the years of knowing him since, I have learned, above all else, that Mr. Saxton truly bleeds maroon and white. Without further ado, it is my honor and privilege to introduce Mr. Timothy Saxton.
Thank you, Mr. Zura. Members of the class of 2022, their parents, relatives, guests, school administration, and our school board members, thank you for joining us today. But before I address our Spartan seniors, I think we need to recognize an outstanding freshman. Actually, he's a freshman or a rookie principal, Mr. Zura. As Mr. Zura said, I first met him in 2010 when I got to know him to be an outstanding teacher. He then became a child center director of student services, and before that, a dedicated assistant principal, and now he is one enthusiastic leader of Boardman High School. Mark, thank you for your leadership this year. It's been exciting to watch your energy and dedication to these students and our staff. Thank you. Seniors, I don't think it needs to be said, but this is a big day in your educational career. Hopefully one you always remember. I'm thankful to be part of this day and recognize I'm just a small piece of the ceremony, and I will use my time wisely. So here are 3 nuggets of wisdom for you to use immediately, save until needed, or you can reject them. That's your call. So in 1984, when the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Group first launched, they wanted to focus on customer service. So what they would do is they would monitor as people wait in line to register for their room. And what they found was by monitoring people in 1984, which so happened to be the year I graduated and sat in those seats, it took about 4 minutes for someone to become agitated or annoyed while they waited in line. So they knew they had to open up another line or greet that guest in order to provide great customer service. They still do that today. If you walk in there, there's probably somebody hidden in the lobby watching different guests to see how long it takes before someone becomes impatient or annoyed. That time today, in 2022, is 20 seconds. In 1984, 4 minutes. 2022, 20 seconds. Now, you know this is true. You're standing in a checkout line, coffee shop, you're returning an Amazon package, 20 seconds, you start to get anxious. Come on, somebody wait on me. You start looking for shipping. 3 days for that package to come? No, I'm going to take the 2-day. What about next day? Well, how about same-day shipping? We want it fast. But in today's fast world, there's some things that should not be completed so quickly. How about when they build an airplane? Do you really want that welder when he puts those seams together to do as fast as he can? I vote for take your time. Make sure the seams are good. When you build the engine, take your time. I want that plane to stay up in the sky. How about when the mechanic's working on your brakes? Take your time. Bleed those airlines. Make sure that pad's set right. I want my car to stop when needed. But what about your career? In this day of fast and quick, some people want to graduate, become the CEO. It's not going to happen in 20 seconds. You probably want to do a startup, sell it, and retire. It's not going to happen in 20 seconds. The big companies, come on, Amazon, Apple, Google, those weren't built in 20 seconds. What about relationships? I've found relationships must be built slowly and over time. Those are the ones that last and produce the most joy. So, yes, I like to walk into my favorite coffee shop, get a Venti dark roast, and from the minute I enter the door to my hand, it's nice to have that coffee 20 seconds in hand. But remember, in life, there are some things that must be built slow to last. Make sure you know the difference. You know, I counted, I shouldn't have, because now I feel really old, but this is my 17th commencement speech. And there's one nugget of wisdom I've shared over the years that I always get positive remarks about. So I brought back an oldie but goodie. Every day is an interview. I learned this after my first year of teaching math. I happened to be getting a ride from my former college football coach, and he said, "Mr. Saxton, you just completed your first year teaching and coaching. What's your next goal?" I thought about it, said, "Good question. You know what? I wouldn't mind being the head of the math department. And I was assistant coach. I wouldn't mind being a defensive coordinator for the football team." He said, "Good goals. Here's my advice to you. Start acting like you have that position now before you get it. So when it opens up, people will see you in that position and want to put you in that position." So my advice to you, whether you join an organization, you get a job, show up a little bit earlier, stay a little later, dress a little nicer, seek additional ways to help your colleagues. Ask questions. Learn more about your job than you're supposed to. Give better service than is expected. And when you do that, when that promotion or that position opens that you always wanted, they'll already see you, and the job should be yours. Every day is an interview. Nugget number 3. I want to give a quote from someone who I like to read about on leadership, John Maxwell. "Most people have a desire to look for the exception instead of the desire to become exceptional. You know, all of us are guilty of looking for ways for the rules of a group or an organization so they do not apply to us, instead of putting our energy into being an outstanding member within that group or organization. The difference can be summed up by two words: but and. Let me give a basic example. I had an amazing dinner, but the dessert was overcooked. Dessert becomes the exception. Now let's change it. I had an amazing dinner, and the dessert was delicious. Dessert becomes the exception. How about another one? Commencement was fantastic, but the superintendent spoke too long. I become the exception. However, commencement was fantastic, and the superintendent ended quickly. So I want to become exceptional, so I'm wrapping this up. Thank you for your support. Class of 2022, thank you for your leadership, your accomplishments, and adding to the over 100 years of tradition to the Boardman schools. A good friend of mine, David DeCou, would like me to ask you this question. Let's see if you get it right. I'm standing in the presence of, and don't you ever forget it. Go Spartans!
Thank you, Mr. Saxton. I would now like to introduce our Student Council President, Mia Hammerton. Mia has been a true leader for this senior class. She has enthusiastically embraced all of the duties associated with her position. After her graduation, Mia will attend Kent State University in the fall to major in marketing. Congratulations. Thank you.
Gratitude, a positive emotion that involves being thankful and appreciative. After our high school years were forever altered by a pandemic, we all found a genuine appreciation for those simple things that we took for granted. But let's not focus on what we lost during those years. Let's focus on the positive. What little things did we gain? We gained extra time with our family during our sophomore year. We gained a true appreciation for everything that we previously took for granted. Going to high school sporting events, dances, band, orchestra, and choir concerts, the English Festival, Quiz Bowl, speech and debate, drama club. But most importantly, we all gained a little more of a positive mindset and a sense of gratitude. At the start of our senior year, we really didn't know what to expect. We were still wearing masks and had restrictions in place. We were hopeful that we could put this behind us soon. As the year progressed, we knew this would be a year to cherish. Things were looking up as we were finishing out our time at BHS. I think we can all agree that we are grateful for our school leadership and the positive environment they created for us. Thank you, Mr. Zura, for the daily Go Spartans chant to remind us to be proud of our school. Even though now some of us are Flashes, Penguins, Redhawks, Buckeyes, Mountaineers, Bobcats, and many other mascots, we'll forever be grateful to be a Spartan. We now have the opportunity to go out into the world and project our positive mindsets onto others, new friends, roommates, professors, and bosses. It is said that the happiest people in the world don't have everything, they make the best of everything. As we have done throughout our 4 years at BHS, let's continue to make the best of everything. John Lennon once told a story about his younger years. He said, "When I was 5 years old, my mother always told me that happiness is the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me that I didn't understand the assignment, and I told them they didn't understand life. This is what I wish for you, the class of 2022. Happiness." Thank you.
Good job, Mia. Thank you, Mia. Welcome, everyone, to Commencement for the class of 2022. I would like to begin by saying thank you to this year's senior class for their enduring leadership, hard work, and school spirit. The simple and sweet class motto of 2022, "Go Spartans," is near and dear to my heart. This senior class has weathered a high school experience like no other. They first walked the halls of Boardman High School in the fall of 2018. At that time, the world was fairly normal. However, looking back, a smattering of extraordinary events seemed to have been a preview of what was to come. Hurricane Florence hit North Carolina with 3 feet of rain. Hurricane Michael hit the Florida Panhandle with sustained winds of 155 miles per hour. Starbucks announced it would stop selling plastic straws by 2020. 15 feet of snow fell in the Sahara Desert, and The Simpsons aired its 636th episode. Fast forward to March of 2020, and the world has shut down. On Tuesday, March 16th, Governor DeWine closed Ohio schools for what was originally to be no more than an extended spring break. But soon after, our students nationwide faced a shift to remote learning. Overnight, terms like Zoom, Google Classroom, synchronous, asynchronous, Chromebooks, Loom, and Grab and Go slipped into everyday use. This was a frightening time during which our community and our country lost many precious citizens. It seemed like everywhere there was pain and struggle. And yet, looking back, we also saw folks come together to support each other. Our first responders risked their lives to aid those in need. Our nurses and physicians were overwhelmed by the unprecedented demand for their services and still fought tirelessly to provide care. Our teachers were hailed as heroes as education shifted completely online. As students, you showed incredible bravery. Even though many of the things you loved, spring sports, concerts, graduation parties, and vacations were interrupted, you all had the courage to face tomorrow and didn't make excuses. You showed remarkable grit, resolve, and steadfastness, and were able to press forward together and never give up. During your junior year, BHS still didn't feel normal. Some of your classmates went remote, and activities were still impacted. At last year's commencement ceremony, Superintendent Saxton expressed his admiration to Mrs. Fernback for her leadership during the pandemic. Mr. Saxton stated, and I quote, "The true value of a leader is reflected during difficult times." Mrs. Fernback, who is a dear friend and my former partner as an assistant principal, worked tirelessly to provide the student body with as normal an experience as possible. During that warm day at commencement last year, I reflected upon the challenges that this upcoming senior class, my first class, would face. However, as I got to know so many of you, I was sure you would give your all to make your senior year great. As your building principal, I cannot help but to brag about all that you, as true Spartans, have accomplished. The leadership of this student class in academics, athletics, and the arts amazes me. The kindness, grace, compassion, and patience you've shown to me warms my heart. As I reflect back upon this year, I make the following charge to you as you soon step up as Boardman alumni. Along with Go Spartans, my other motto is do not grow weary in doing good. Trust your instincts. Pursue your vision, even if no one else can see it yet. Start your journey, others will follow. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, do what you feel is right, for you will be criticized anyways. When you are faced with a difficult situation, I encourage you to follow the excellent advice of my colleague and dear friend, BHS Class of 1989 alumni, and BCIS Principal Mike Masucci. Always follow the feel, felt, forward principle. Listen to others. Tell them you understand how they feel. Offer a situation where you feel the same way, and then plan to move forward together. Look the person in the eye, offer them a chair, and be polite. Hear them out. These principles, which guide a true Spartan, will remain with you. Once a Spartan, you will always be a Spartan. As you move forward from high school to what lies beyond, I want you to reflect upon your time at BHS and what we've worked so hard to build this year. Ponder what a culture of love is. You may not know it, but throughout the year, the administrators, teachers, and all BHS family members have worked tirelessly to build on the Go Spartans and do not grow weary in doing good themes. The class of 2022 is made up of young people who have overcome obstacles, been resilient, never made excuses, and focused on their strength to carry them through the hardest times. Remember where you come from and the lessons you have learned here. They will always be a part of you, and you will always be a part of us. Thank you, and once again, congratulations to the class of 2022. Go Spartans! Class of 2022, I ask you to stand. Would the marshals please come forward? Family and friends, fellow Boardman educators, Superintendent Saxton, and school board members. The students before me have successfully navigated the path that leads to a Boardman diploma. Every student standing before us has completed all the requirements of the Ohio State Department of Education and the Boardman local schools. They are now ready to receive their diplomas. I present the 105th graduating class of Boardman High School. Seniors, you may be seated except for the first row. Members of the audience, you have been invited here by the Boardman local schools as our guests to witness these seniors receive their diplomas. As our guests, just like when you visit someone's home for the first time, it's nice to know the rules of the house. I would like to make you aware of our expectations. This is a formal graduation ceremony, and with it comes a formal decorum. We will be reading the names of close to 340 seniors today. Every name is important. It is imperative that all individual celebration for a graduate does not occur so that the next name is not missed. We know you are excited to see your individual family member finally receive their diploma. Maybe it's your first child to do so, or maybe you never thought they would make it. We do understand, but I ask that you please respect the formal nature of this ceremony. Respect these amazing seniors, and respect your fellow commencement guests by holding all applause and individual celebration until the last senior walks before me. We are here to celebrate the class of 2022 as a group. When the last senior name is read, we will all celebrate all seniors as one class. The first 26 class members to receive their diploma achieved a 4.0 grade point average through 7 semesters, have completed the appropriate coursework, and are graduating first in class. Lainey Beekner. Brendan Butler. Carter Kaler. Stephen Conti. Alexander DePinto. Lily DeMuzio. Liliana Donatelli. Myra Garzanich. Taylor Greenaway. Marwa Kermaji. Madison Lester. Jenna McCollum. Jenna Olexa. Alyssa Olson. Nina Palali. Adriana Quinlan. Nadia Rawana. Carlin Riccatelli. Gabriella Roller. Brenna Schobel. Brittany Sellers. Ava Valco. Kira Vasco. Arun Rasmi Wonky Otterun. Justin Yoakum. Anna Zhang. Mia Hammerton. Josiah Warsencroft. Rama El Absa. Mohammed Abadi. Tafiq Abunaj. Moath Aburak. Riley Adams. Jamil Albidor. Alyssa Alberti. Ayed El Imashat. Devin Alm. Asil El Samanlah. Benjamin Alvarico. Amari Anderson. Lewis Andrews. Jarek Angel. Anne-Marie Annis. Khaled Aris. William R. Curie. William Armour. Justin Atwood. Rachel Baghurst. Caitlin Baker. Jason Ballantyne. Anthony Barber. Ethan Barrett. Reese Beckman. Jordan Bell. Megan Bendel. Mario Berardi. Hollis Bernacki. Justin Bina. Connor Blasco. Jacob Blazina. Kevin Bonavia. Alec Bojnak. Samantha Breen. Cassidy Bryan. Benjamin Bucci. Luca Bonamici. Anthony Butto. Kayla Campbell. Chase Caroline. Ashley Casanova. Timothy Case. Ella Catanzarite. Scarlett Cave. Taylor Kaysen. Seth Cervello. Weishi Chen. Daniel Shaberta III. Aiden Chan. Logan Civarella. Sanea Clay. Kelly Kofer Jr. Faith Colkett. Victoria Calovis. Viviana Condolian. Cole Conkson. Corey Cook. Jack Corden. Adriana Cordova-Rios. David Koss. Philip Crawford, Jr. Emily Crump. Tatiana Cruz Banks. Andre Joshua Kubarubia. Leah Kadika. Angelina Diaprozo. Jack DeCenzo. Kennedy Davis. Harmony DeFrank. Trey DePietro. Nicole Diaz Rosario. Mackenzie Dietz. Jacob Dohar. Patrick Durazio. Gabriel Dorn. Lucas Dre. Charles Duncan. Atticus Duster. Abigail Ish. Lydia Eicher. Bella Elliser. Triana Elliott. Gavin Fernandez. Alec Farabee. Daniel Fetty. Emma Fishbeck. Malicia Flood. Braden Flynn. Danielle Flynn. Congrats. Elijah Foster. Mary Fromelt. Jason Fusey. Mia Galliano. Rhiannon Gallimore. Olivia Garland. Yasmin Garner. Thomas George. I practiced. Aaron Gampetro. Emma Gigax. Cameron Gilger. Jacqueline Gollings. Daniel Gordeev. Michael Grace Jr. Jack Graff. Vanessa Graham. Destiny Gray Scott. Raymond Griggy IV. Leslie Grimes. Emma Haas. Khadija Hadidin. Brianna Hall. Noelle Hammer. Shania Hancox. Ashley Harding. Nathan Hargrove. Jaden Harris. Dana Haas. Destiny Hayes. Shane Hetzel. Anthony Hightower III. Soraya Hildreth. Thomas Height. Carolyn Ho. Samantha Hoffman. Sophia Hoffman. Aiden Holt. Aaron Horton. Dylan Humphreys. Aaron Cura. Ella Houston. Tristan Hutchko. Kaylee Hutter. Ahmed Imashat. Antonio Jacobson. Naomi Jairam. Patricia Jeffrey. Elizabeth Johnson. Todd Johnston. Allison Jones. Noah Jones. Braden Joseph Robinson. Austin Kelly. Madison Kelso. What's up? Javara Khatib. Kaylee Clem. Naji Corey. Camden Kidd. Declan Klein. Zachary Knickerbocker. Patia Kalidakis. Ryder Krebs. Ashton LaBelle. Corinne Lamperty. Dante Lancaster. Raiden Latif. Caitlin Laughlin. Keisha Laviana. Rocco Lavolpa. Lena Lee. Malcolm Light. Elliot Lipley Caban. Aiden Lesko. Eden Lesnansky. Alex Lindemann. Andrew Lipinski. Adam Lipka. Isabella Lacasano. Ryan Loftus. Cortland Love. Jenna Maddock. Arabella Maley. Mason Martin. Maximilian Martin. Tatiana Martinez. Carter Mascola. Hunter Maddie. Keaton Mayhew. Jocelyn McConnell. Riley McCurdy. Aiden McIntyre. Brisaya McMeans. Paige Mercer. Mika Muter. Aiden Miller. John Miller IV. Emma Mills. Elijah Mitchell. Adam Mohammed. Dominic Mordaco. Abdulrahman Musa. Carter Mraz. Joseph Malarkey. Ibrahim Mustafa. Thomas Naraki. Kara Nero. Nicholas Nearhouse. Stephen Knock. Anthony Node. Christian Odom. Sean O'Horo. Grace O'Clotta. Kataya Page. William Parker V. Roderica Patterson. Patrick Pavitich. Autumn Payne. Emma Pekar. Carlos Perez. Lucas Peters. Benjamin Piper. Josephine Porter. Max Rasega. Tyrell Richards. Benjamin Rolston. Gemma Rudolph. Miranda Russell. Luke Ryan. Lisette Salas. Zachary Saluga. Ryan Sam. Mariah Sanestevan. Amelia Sapienza. Caitlin Sayers. Anthony Scarano. Bryce Sconyers. Dante Scott. Kevin Serino. Joseph Safera. Alexis Sharp. Kalissa Shoemaker. Aaliyah Shorteridge. Noah Sherrill. Carson Sikora. Nicholas Simeon. Isaac Sipus. Ethan Slick. Dylan Slipkovich. Jalen Smith. Madeline Smith. Vivian Smith. Nathan Smrek. Paige Snyder. Morgan Spearman. Joseph Steiner. Tierra Stevenson. Marian Stegall. Haley Stilson. Bailey Strickland. Ethan Strickland. Blaine Strines. Isabella Strines. Kiara Stringer. Leanna Salabi. Sierra Sullivan. Braden Swader. Catherine Tagabani. Jaden Taylor. Santino Testa. Colin Thomas. Terrence Thomas. Cameron Thompson. Marcel Tomlin. Alejandro Torres. Chloe Treadway. Jason Treveri. Elena Torillo. Elena Farley. Matthew Vasco. Logan Vega. Dominic Vanetti. Nicholas Vivacqua. Alexandria Vuvolis. Catherine Wamsley. Brenna Welsh. Aubrey Ellen Wheatley. Mia Witchert. Griffin Widrig. Robert Williamson. Jessica Winson. Elena Woods. Christopher Yambar. Guy Young. Daniel Zaran. Dylan Zetz. Amy Zhang. Colin Ziak. Connor Zimmer. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2022. For closing remarks, I would like to introduce Class President Josiah Warsencroft to come up to the lectern. When I think about Josiah, I think about his creativity, positivity, enthusiasm, and how he is a very active member of the senior class. This fall, Josiah will be studying business at The Ohio State University.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. You have no idea how long I spent trying to develop this speech into what it is. Throughout the past week, hours staring at a blank Google Doc form trying to figure out something all-inspiring to tell you guys. But frankly, I'm not any more prepared than any of you for adult responsibility just because I'm giving this speech. I mean, I'm 5'5" and I still look like a 15-year-old. But regardless of whether or not we are ready, we are here. There's one thing that I know for a fact, and that is time does not stop for anyone. I think we can all agree when I say it feels like yesterday. We were just touring the high school, anxious about the new beginning. Although we cannot dwell on the past for long because we are closing that chapter of our lives. We cannot sit here and beg for those amazing memories to come back to us, whether you like it or not. That's what they are, memories. I truly believe it is a natural instinct to look back on the past because that is what is comfortable and familiar for us. We would rather look at all of the past events in life instead of looking forward to the ones to come. Because frankly, we're entering into the unknown. But can't you see there is a reoccurring theme in everyone's story? Right before the greatest moments of our life, we've had these feelings. It's scary, it's uncomfortable, it's nerve-wracking. But I do not remember any success story where they did not do something that scared them. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop and look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do." I know walking away from all that you are familiar with does not sound the most appealing, but if it does not scare you, it is not worth doing. My mom once told me, fear never goes away, so you have to learn to do it afraid. You cannot let fear stop your potential in life. Mom, you bet me $50 that I wouldn't mention you in my speech, so I expect a Venmo or something like that. Now, before I end this speech, I want to plant a seed, a vision for you to think about. Imagine being on your deathbed. Standing around you are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghosts of the ideas you never acted on. The ghosts of the dreams you never pursued. The ghosts of the talents you didn't use. They're all standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, upset. We came to you because you had the power to bring us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave with you. Like I said before, I am by no means more wise or knowing than any of you. But I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when the time comes? Now, I want to take a moment to thank all of the parents, families, and staff in the stadium this afternoon because we would not be here without you. And to my peers, you guys have been nothing short of the most amazing class anyone could ever ask for. I am so blessed to know each and every one of you and proud of all of your accomplishments that we are celebrating today. I wish you all the very best of luck in your future endeavors, and there is no greater group of people to go out and change the world. Always remember where you came from. Being a Spartan is now a part of who you are forever. Chop out. Thank you.
Great job, brother. So proud of you. Thank you very much.
Can I do one thing? I just want to take a selfie real fast. Hold on. I got to do one thing. Say cheese. Thank you.
Thank you, Josiah. At this time, I would like to invite any Boardman graduates in the audience to please stand up. Seniors, please stand up. I would like all in attendance to please stand at this time. Now, I'd like to ask the senior members of our vocal music department to come forward to lead their class in the singing of the alma mater.
because you're speedy, me.
No one gets up. I can't push it. No, you're good. Good to go.
Oh, Boardman High, we pledge our love unending. Wisdom and truth shall ever honor thee throughout the years which we enjoy together. We offer thee our love and loyalty. Through toil and strife, we will remember thee. Our alma mater, Boardman High.
Thank you. You may be seated. This ceremony could not happen without the work of many behind-the-scenes people. I would like to recognize the following: Aaron Miller, Brian Huddleston, and the BHS custodial staff for all of their hard work. Joe Hollabaugh and the BSTN crew, Pat Kale, Rory Kale, Rob Kale, and Scott Burns. The ladies of the main office, Cheryl DeCou, Cindy Chartier, Lori Nyman, and Jody Marlin for organizing, verifying, and counting to make sure every diploma and student is in the right place. Linda Smrek from the vocal music department, Rex Lester from Elliott's Landscaping for the beautiful greenery, and Jerry Blasco and the Jerry Blasco Landscaping family for all of their assistance this afternoon. Finally, we would like to thank all the parents who put their faith and support in the Boardman schools every day and trust us with the education of their most precious commodity, their children. At this time, class of 2022, please rise. Please turn your tassel from the right to the left, as you are all members of the Spartan alumni family. Congratulations. Thank you all, and have a great afternoon. Go Spartans!